Finland, invented in. I'm not sure, actually. From my research, it seems Finland just appeared sometime between World War I and II. There's no consensus on an exact date, though. Since it has come into existence, there have been many questions regarding Finland. Where did Finland come from? Is it a real place, or do we have another Nova Scotia situation? How does Finland do it and get away with it? What makes Finland so successful? Why does Finland? Today I'm going to answer just one of these questions, and even that is kind of asking a lot, so just bear with me here. Finland is considered a highly successful country by many different metrics. It ranks highly on the World Happiness Report, World Human Capital, the Press Freedom Index, the Fragile States Index, the Human Development Index, the Forex IBEX Index, the Legatum Prosperity Index, the Global Peace Index, the Minority Report, Rotten Tomatoes, and My Anime List. The most impactful driving force for Finland's success is, of course, the sauna. The sauna is the primary factor contributing to the lack of bad vibes in Finland. As we all know, bad vibes are caused by infestations of vibe goblin colonies which attach themselves to a host and sap away their vibes. Saunas are capable of reaching temperatures up to and beyond 90 degrees Celsius, or 653.67 degrees Rankine, if you don't quite understand Celsius. Such a high temperature is more than capable of killing off vibe goblins, or just killing off a person if the infestation has progressed too far, and their vibes can't be recovered. Once your vibes are in order internally, you need to make sure no external forces are able to throw you off, which is why Finland has taken up the international diplomatic strategy of being neutral. You know, Switzerland is fiercely, unapologetically, intensely neutral. Like if you somehow manage to select very normal as a difficulty in a game, the Swiss have taken an oath to just not take sides, let things rock as the planet dies. It's a very stress-free life. Finland's neutrality is not like that at all. Rather than being passively neutral, Finland is what I like to call actively neutral. Finland refuses to take sides until it becomes clear that one side is winning. Then they join that side. They did it in World War II, originally helping Germany invade the Soviets, and then when the Soviets hit them with the Uno reverse card, the Finns just sort of mingled into the Russian advance and went with them back into Germany. The Finns have taken an oath to always be on the winning side. It's a very stress-free life. And the cool thing about being on the winning side is that your mandatory post-war economic miracle is even better. It's crazy how every time you go through a country's history, there's always some point where there was an economic boom after a war. Why the fuck is it called a miracle if it happens so goddamn often? It's almost like it's planned. Like war itself is used as a tool for the growth of capital. Just another way private industry exploits the lives of the common people. And why did I even have this thing installed? Anyway, as with all post-war miracles, there's one entity that leads the charge. South Korea had Samsung, Germany had Volkswagen, Italy had Fiat, America had whatever the fuck all those Nazi scientists started working on, and Finland had Nokia. The thing that really drives success and growth in business is competition, and few companies took that notion to heart more than Nokia. I mean, have you ever heard of a company whose initial reason for existing was simply to fuck with another company? Here's a fun trick to try at home. If you can find a Nokia phone and you have a friend who drives a Kia, start using that phone near the car and have your friend try to drive away. They can't do it. Every single Nokia phone is built to disable any Kia vehicle within a 50-meter radius. Kia, Nokia. But it's not all Sima and Salmiak in Finland. Believe it or not, sometimes bad things happen too, such as the post-war economic miracle, whatever the opposite of a miracle is. Good things don't last forever. Ryan Reynolds and titties are going to come to an end at some point too. It's just something you have to accept. With Finland's economic downturn, a reduction in sauna production followed. As it turns out, warm rooms are actually kind of expensive. Without the plethora of saunas available, bad vibes reached an incredibly high concentration and eventually resulted in the breakout of the Great Nordic Biker War. When economies enter the not great section of the sine wave, organized crime kicks up a notch as man's still gotta eat, and if the factory you work at closes down, then drug trafficking is the next logical step. The Great Nordic Biker War stemmed from a disagreement over who should get a cut of literally every single drug transaction in Northern Europe. The prologue to the Great War started civil enough in 1983 with the murder of 11 people, and then after an 11-year Cold War period caused by Scandinavia's decade-long winters where it's recommended everyone stay inside, shit really started going to hell in 1994. To skip over most of the story, it got so out of control that at one point, anti-tank weaponry was stolen from a Swedish army base. Over the course of the conflict, a total of 13 anti-tank rockets were fired at buildings and people, causing $0 in property damage and 0 casualties, because anti-tank weapons have no effect on non-tank entities. Then the economy got okay again and everything kind of went back to normal. Except for the fact that widespread open gang war tends to not poll well with people looking for a place to live, which brings us to a problem Finland still faces today: its aging population. Finland has been struggling to keep a balance between its rate of people emigrating to other countries or the void, with its rate of people immigrating from other countries or birth canal. As with most developed nations, Finland has seen a decrease in settlers from the gonads region. It turns out, once a nation industrializes and you get people moving and working and grinding and doing the damn thing, they generally have less sex. Which makes sense. I mean, think about it. If you lived in a pre-industrial society, what do you have to do to pass the time? Your options are basically stare at the sky, punch something, or have sex. Something like the Kama Sutra could only be created in a time before electricity. You don't have the option of spending 9 hours a day gambling on anime girls, so instead, you spend it figuring out every angle that penetration is possible at. So anyway, Finland is dying, is my point. But don't worry, I know how to fix it. Finland just needs to offer a generous fee to NBA Youngboy to visit the country for like 3 months. For those unaware, Never Broke Again Youngboy is a rapper. He is 21 years old, and he has 7 children. You might be thinking, well, that's only 1 child every 3 years. Really not that impressive. While I applaud your math skills, shut the fuck up. His first child was born in 2016, so actually, Never Broke Again YB is averaging about 1.4 children per year, and that's when he's off the clock. Imagine if NBA YB was getting checks to get some cheeks. My man would be pumping them out. 7 kids in 5 years, huh? My guy couldn't pull out of a parking space. Good for him. Good for him. Beyond that, there's... Wait a minute. A dying population, allied with Germany in World War II, post-war economic boom, post-post-war economic boom, economic depression, widespread organized crime that has been dwindling over the last few decades, fucking with Korea, sumo-y. You know, I didn't think the rumors were true, but the evidence here is undeniable. Finland does not exist. Finland is Japan. I mean, think about it. This plot of land has no clear historical records before World War II. Then boom, all of a sudden there's a society here just in time to support Germany's invasion of the Soviet Union. The only explanation is that in preparation for the war, Japan colonized this previously barren landscape, establishing the puppet state of Finland. Wow. Well, I guess I have to start over now, because the topic of the video should be Japan, not Finland. And hold on a second, does this mean notable iconic Finnish series Pingu was actually an anime? I'm sorry, I can't go on like this. And now a word from some of my patrons. Magnum, I hope this video is finished on time. Fish in a barrel, rats have big cocks. JMMHK, do you know how hard it is to find 1.25mm ball bearings online? Fuck, praise be the based hardware god. Agrippa de Rippa, percolate. How about I percolate a smackdown on these hoes like it's the 1999 Royal Rumble?